In a quiet suburban neighborhood in Portland, lived a 30-year-old man named David Turner. He was smart, ambitious, and had a dream of becoming a physician's assistant. But David struggled with something invisible, his own mind. Every time he sat down to study or work, distractions pulled him away. His phone, social media, random thoughts, anything could shake his focus. He always told himself, "I'll do it later." But later rarely came. His parents encouraged him, his mentors advised him, but David believed that as long as he was smart, success would eventually come. He underestimated the power of mental discipline. Then came the turning point. David had taken a competitive entrance exam for a graduate program. He had high hopes, but when the results came out, he had failed. His classmates succeeded. His instructors were surprised. David was crushed, not because he wasn't intelligent, but because deep down, he knew he had wasted time. That evening, instead of blaming others, David took a walk and remembered something he'd heard. If your mind controls you, it will lead you astray. But if you learn to control your mind, you can lead yourself to greatness. The next day, he visited a peaceful Zen center near the edge of town. There, he met a retired military officer turned meditation coach, Mr. Elias. The man had a calm presence and kind eyes. David bowed and said, "I need help. My mind is constantly running. I want to succeed, but I can't focus." Mr. Elias smiled. "You're not alone. Let me tell you a story." The story of the archer. Years ago, there was a young man named Leo who dreamed of becoming a master archer. He had strength and skill, but no focus. One day, he approached a wise teacher and said, "Please make me the best." The teacher handed Leo a bow and pointed at a leaf floating on the river. "Shoot it." Leo aimed, but missed. "What did you see?" the teacher asked. "The water, the sky, the trees, and the leaf." Leo replied. The teacher shook his head. "That's the problem. Your eyes see too much. A true archer sees only his target." Leo trained every day. Months passed. He learned to shut out distractions. One day, the teacher asked again, "What do you see now?" "Only the leaf," Leo replied. And with that, the arrow hit the target perfectly. David listened carefully. "But how can I train my mind like Leo did?" he asked. Mr. Elias leaned forward and said, "Control your thoughts. When your mind wanders, bring it back. Focus is like a muscle. Create a routine. Structure brings clarity. Make a schedule and stick to it. Remove distractions. Turn off your phone. Set boundaries. Create a focused space. Be consistent. Discipline doesn't come in a day. Build it every day." David took these lessons to heart. He deleted distracting apps, set up a strict study schedule, and practiced meditation for 10 minutes daily. At first, it was hard, but slowly, his mind began to obey. His focus sharpened. Months later, David retook the entrance exam, and this time, he passed with flying colors. Years later, as a successful medical professional, he often stood in front of young students. Sharing his story, he would smile and say, "The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't tame it, it'll drag you anywhere. But if you train it, it will carry you exactly where you want to go." From that day on, David lived by one principle: discipline your mind, and success will follow.